sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop.
All right, little M&M for you to get you hyped up for our first Grind Like a Boss lesson of the day. And I have to tell you guys, this is my third time filming this video. I'm doing it on my phone now because I filmed a 40-minute version on my photo booth on my phone, and it like wouldn't save. I don't know what was wrong with it, so we're gonna go round two, but I think this is a sign from the universe to make this shorter than 40 minutes for a number of reasons. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run through it a little bit quicker than I did before, just to give you guys the main meaty points. So first of all, I want to start off by saying congratulations for taking the first step on getting a step closer to the goals that you want to achieve in the life that you want to live. Most people don't take this step, as you all know, because I've shoved it down your throat over the last couple days promoting for this series, and most people won't take this step, and so it's really big and important that you did it. So awesome job. Give yourself a slap on the ass. You deserve it. And so over the next 3 days, we're going to go over 3 lessons: understanding your commitment, building the master grinder plan, and the third lesson, which is letting it rain. So like unleashing this hell on the world, a good hell. So we're going to talk about understanding your commitment today. And the reason we're spending so much time on understanding your commitment is because this is the piece where people fuck up. They dive right into writing their goals. They, might even do research on their goals, but they forget to like really sit with themselves and those goals and understand and walk through and envision what it's going to take to actually accomplish those goals. And not even just that, but they don't take the time to understand what it takes, the mindset it takes to accomplish these goals. So with that being said, and I'm going to kind of be looking back and forth between my notes and this, and we're gonna jump right into it. So I'm really excited to take you guys through this, and I'm hoping by the end of this that you have some really good tools and resources to make your wildest dreams come true. Because as corny as it is, and you're gonna hear a lot of corny shit over the next 3 days, because here's the weird thing: the corny shit is usually true, the cliche shit is usually true. People just don't practice it and they don't live it, right? It's like when they say common sense really isn't that common. Same type of deal. You're gonna hear a lot of corny shit. I'm gonna inspire you and talk to your soul, and it's gonna sound really fluffy, but real shit, if you put these practices into place, they fucking work. I wouldn't be sitting here, I wouldn't be doing this, I wouldn't be making this shit up. This is a free seminar. I'm not getting anything like financially out of this. I just want to see you succeed. I believe in this so much, and I'm taking this so seriously because I want you to. Like, you deserve to take yourself, your goals, your passions so fucking seriously. You deserve to put most of your time and energy into your goals, because if you don't, nobody else is going to. And I know you know that. I know people know that, but they don't fucking do it. And so we're going to do it together over the next 3 days, starting with understanding your commitment. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. You should have gotten the packet. And I started off with saying your goals deserve more of your time. It's a really great quote I came across. I don't really remember where, probably in one of the Thrive journals that I'm going to give away. So make sure that you are watching the videos and you are filling out the work and doing the personal work, so you can win one of those, or a 30-minute Grind Like a Boss kind of planning, talk shit, like session with me at the end of this. So let's talk a little bit about this mindset. And it's such a key foundation for what you're about to do, the goals that you're about to embark on, is getting your mind in check, getting your mind ready and prepared for what you're about to do, because you're going to hit a lot of fucking sacrifices, and both good sacrifices and not so good sacrifices, and you're going to have to be very strong-headed and strong-hearted to overcome the barriers and the obstacles and the frustrations that are going to come your way over however long it takes you to accomplish your goals. And then you'll overcome new obstacles when you want to hit new goals. So this mindset really is key. And there's a couple key components of the mindset. So we're going to talk about the grind mindset. We're going to talk about starting where you are. Really important to know where you're at right now in order to know where you want to go, because then we'll fill out that middle part together. How do I get from point A to point B? And then we're going to talk about changing your perspective, because that's huge too. Changing your perspective on what goal setting is and how do we do it, and da-da-da-da. And we'll get to that tomorrow. tomorrow, because we're not even talking really about your goal, like action plan today. This is all understanding the commitment. I hope this proves to you how important this is, that we're spending an entire lesson just on this. So there's a couple key components of the grind mindset, and I call it that. And I built this program based off of the things that I've learned over the last, few years of building goals, accomplishing those goals, and then not accomplishing those goals, like falling straight on my fucking face. And I want you to understand that in no shape or form do I have this like mastered, right? It's a work in progress for everybody. Everybody's at a different point and step in their journey. And one of the reasons why I decided not to do a Facebook group and why I'm just emailing you the videos and emailing you the workbooks, because for that exact reason, this is an individual journey. And I think one of the big mistakes a lot of people make, including myself, is they set goals for themselves that aren't really their goals. And what I mean by that is sometimes we feel pressure to do things that are, it's the next step in my business, or the next step in my career, or the next step in my whatever it is. But we don't genuinely connect with those goals, and then we wonder why we're not accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. So we're going to do some checking of ourselves and of our heart and our soul, and we're going to ask ourselves some kind of smushy, fluffy, corny questions, but these are the questions that people avoid, and these are incredibly the questions that are most valuable. So there's a couple things in the grind mindset. Number one, which we'll also talk about on the third day, which is letting it rain, is this kind of YOLO, like I only have one life to live mindset. Because the reality is you only have one fucking life. You have one chance to do this, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. Again, corny, but so true. We don't know how long we're going to be here. We need to make the most of it. You deserve to make the most of it. You are filled with passion and ideas and intelligence and energy and a style that is all your own, and you deserve to unleash that into the world. And I hope if there's anything that you get out of this, at least it's some motivation to fucking unleash it on the world. So that's really a part of the grind mindset, is understanding that like I am unique and I do have shit to say, and I do deserve this time for myself and this investing in myself, which is exactly what this is. This isn't a financial investment, this series, this program, but it's a time and an energy investment, and it's the most important investment that you're going to make that most people don't make, right? Because we don't see the return right away. You're not going to see the return right away on a lot of these goals, because a lot of the goals are goals that you're setting for yourself to last over a lifetime. And so understanding that commitment, really resonating and like settling, letting that settle in your heart and your soul, that like you're going to be doing this forever, right? And once that settles, you start to get a better understanding of the commitment that you're about to make. And so those are just some of the mindsets that I want you to start to acquire. And sometimes people are like, well, how do you have that mindset? It's practice. It's throwing your hands up and be like, you know what? I'm going to do this shit. I don't care how many obstacles are in my way. I'm going to go after it, and I'm going to do it. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started, starting on the first page of the packet, understanding your commitment, the grind mindset. So I have a couple questions that I have written here that I want you, after the video, to take time to ask yourself. These are really difficult questions, but recognizing the patterns that you're going to write down is really, really, really key. So the first question is, what did you accomplish in 2018? And I want you to brain dump this. You don't need to, no one's reading this but me, because I do want you to send them to me for accountability reasons, and also to put it out in the universe and share it with somebody else. But what did you accomplish? It could be anything. Don't hold back. It could be something as big as, I just went on a tour around the country and I'm really proud of that. Or as small as something as, I ate 3 meals today that were nutrient dense. Whatever it is, remember, this is your packet. Don't give a fuck about anybody else. This is you, yours, your life, your potential. That's it. So what did you accomplish? Now, under that, it says, who did you have to be to accomplish these things? And what I mean by that is, what behaviors, attitudes, thoughts, beliefs, habits, did I say habits already? Maybe I did. What of those things attributed to this success, right? Because those things can be replicated, which is beautiful, and we want to replicate those things. So, for example, my tour, which I'm going to be using as an example throughout this video series, it took this YOLO attitude. That was a really big attitude. Like, I have no fucking idea how we're going to accomplish this, but I don't care. We're going to do it. And it was that attitude and that mindset that really carried me through. Another habit was I promised myself I was going to do one thing every single day towards the connection tour. It could be something as Googling a location that we would stay at. It doesn't matter. I was going to do one thing every single day. And that every day over 10 months built our tour. So I want you to take a moment and really think about those things. Like, man, I accomplished that. Well, like, what was I thinking when I accomplished that? What, motivated me? That type of thing. And then on the flip side, what didn't you accomplish this year? Because we learn just as much, if not more, from our failures and from our non-successes as we do our successes. And so what did you not accomplish? And then why didn't you accomplish it? What were some of the thoughts, mindsets, attitudes, and behaviors that attributed to you not accomplishing the things that you wanted to accomplish? And why that's important is because we don't want to replicate those behaviors. And not even that we don't want to replicate them, we want to recognize them when they're happening or before they're about to happen, which is totally possible. And it starts with writing it down and recognizing what some of those common patterns are, which is the next question. What patterns do you notice? How can we replicate the positive, and how can we omit or stop ourselves from experiencing and practicing those kind of negative habits, thoughts, and beliefs? And this takes time, and everybody's different. That's why there's no answer here. Hey, this is how you replicate those positive behaviors. This is how you stop those negative behaviors. It's different for everybody. And if you're stuck on something like this, hit me up. Let's talk about it. I can help you walk through it, but I don't have an answer for everybody because everybody's different. And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, why do you deserve to make this commitment to yourself? You'd be surprised how many people don't think that they deserve success, that they don't think they deserve fulfillment. They don't think they deserve to commit to themselves and their future, and you absolutely fucking deserve it. And again, everyone has their own reason why they feel that they deserve it, and I want you to write that shit down. One of the reasons we're writing everything down is because the subconscious mind is so unbelievably powerful, and we don't have to get into too much details about the subconscious and kind of the woo-woo stuff. I've been on a very crazy spiritual journey over the last about year and a half, but recognizing the fact that there is this internal dialogue constantly happening in your head, and you have the ability to sit above that dialogue, kind of watch the dialogue happen. You have the power to do that. And when you do that, you notice, like I noticed when I first started listening to my thoughts, I didn't like a lot of the conversation that was going down, but the first step was recognizing it. And when I recognized it, I was able to control it. I was able to think about it and catch it while it was happening, which is really, really important. So writing things down is super powerful. And if you didn't know this, now you know. About 40 to 50% of your day is run completely by your subconscious. Like, think about this morning, which side of your teeth did you brush first? When you backed out of your driveway, which shoulder did you look over first? And then, like, even bigger habits, when you go to work in the morning or you wake up in the morning, what are some of the first things you do or first things you think about? You don't have to think about that happening. That process happens naturally because it's a habit and it's built and buried very deep within yourself, within your brain. But it can be changed, and these are some of the first questions that lead to that change. So that's the first page, kind of taking you through some of those questions that we don't really ask ourselves because they're sometimes really tough questions and tough things to face, but are really important. The second piece of this, understanding your commitment, is really kind of checking yourself and knowing where you are. So we're going to start where we are because that's all we can do. We can't, we can worry all we want about the past. We can worry all we want about the future. But in reality, we are where we fucking are. This is where we're at. And, it's not a matter of being happy with where we are or not being happy with where we are. It's just being aware and recognizing, well, where am I and where do I want to go? So on this next page, start where you are. Where are you now? Who are you? What are you doing? Just analyzing the person, the being where you are today in this moment. Then on the other half of the page is, where do I want to be? Now I want you to start. You can write goals, of course, but like, who is the person you want to become? Where, if you decide tomorrow when we build out our action plan, if you want a goal set for a month, who do you want to be in a month? What do you want to accomplish in a month? And again, it's specific to you. Take this packet and do with it what you want. Write it out how you want and how you envision it to be. And then this middle part for like where you are now to where you want to be, I'm going to help you figure that shit out. How to get from point A to point B, I got your back. I'm going to help you with that. The next piece of this, another really important piece that people skip over, and I spend a lot of time on this with my clients, a lot of time, because what I end up discovering is people are so motivated until they're not. People ask me all the time, how do you stay so motivated? I don't always stay motivated. I really don't. Like, I don't wake up every day wanting to work out. I don't wake up every day wanting to, do all the projects. Most days I do, but sometimes I don't. And that's where my why kicks in. Because on the days that I don't have the internal motivation immediately, what drives me back to doing what I do is my why. The why is your foundation, your purpose, and your anchor. That is the fire that you light within yourself when you're not feeling it. You just remember that bigger picture, that this YOLO, like, unleash my potential. And my why, what I've discovered over years and will continue to evolve, my personal why is that I have one life and I'm going to unleash my fullest potential on this. I'm gonna let it fucking rain on this world. And I'm motivated by that. I'm motivated to see what am I capable of? What is my mind, my body, my heart? What am I capable of? And then my business why is to inspire people to do the same, to have that same mentality, that same hunger, to see, well, like, what's next? What else is out there for me? Because I know this is not it. Whatever, like, I hit, it's here. I know there's 5,000 infinity more floors, more levels I could get to if you just open your mind and you shut those fucking negative thoughts off, which we're gonna talk about. You shut them off. So that why is gonna fuel your what, and that what will fuel your how. Okay? And so I want you to ask you, what is really driving me to make this change? And not just answering that. We're going to do this activity. It's called the 5 levels of why. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down your why. If, let's say, I'm going to use a very simple example. Not even simple, but I'm just going to use a specific example of a client that I was working with recently. Her goal was to lose and tone up for Thanksgiving before she went home for the holidays. And, when I asked her, okay, like, why is that your goal? Because I want my family to notice a difference when I go home. Okay, why? Now I'm asking why again. Why do you want your family to notice a difference? Because I feel like my family has always judged my health and wellness based off how I look. Okay, why do you think they judge based off your look? So you see the pattern. So we're digging deeper, and we realize that, sometimes at the foundation of this, initial why, it goes so much deeper beyond that, right? And so I want you to practice this. Like, write down your why, then ask why to that why, and do that 5 times and see the difference between that base, what you end up getting to, that core why that, like, fills your soul, and what you originally started with, because it's probably going to be a little bit different. And that's really important, because it's not always like, I want to lose weight is my why. Why do you want to lose weight? Because I want to feel good about myself. Why do you want to feel good about yourself? Because I know I have more energy and I'm more lively when I feel good about myself. Well, why are you more lively and energetic when you feel good about yourself? So it's building and like really digging and pulling from your soul. Like, what is actually fueling me? What is actually, like, pulling at my heart, and that I'm masking with this, like, surface level why? Because we do that a lot. So that's the next part. Obviously, you see there's a lot of reflecting and writing here. I just do a lot of talking, and then you'll do the hard shit once we're done with the packet. So second to last page is all about changing your perspective. This is where we're going to get into that conversation that's constantly happening in your head, whether you're recognizing it or not. And a spiritual person, the way they define spirituality, most spiritual teachers teach that spirituality actually means being aware of the conversation that's happening in your head. That's it. Being aware of that. Like, right? So I want you to envision that you're, like, on the top of a hill and you're watching 2 little kids fight. Go back and forth. Those 2 little kids are your thoughts, your conversation, that internal dialogue. And then your seat of awareness, your seat of consciousness is that person sitting on the top of the hill, and you have the ability to watch those thoughts. you don't have to engage with them. You don't have to get them to stop bickering or fighting or communicating with each other. You're just watching and you're aware. And when I first started watching my thoughts, and it's a daily fucking practice, but when I started to watch those thoughts, I really didn't like the conversation that was happening in my head, and I would get lost in those thoughts. So I would be the person on the top of the hill that saw the fight, and I'd run down the hill to try to engage in the fight, and then I'd end up getting like too mixed up in the fight that I ended up being like fighting. We don't want to do that. We just want to be aware. And so this next piece is changing your perspective and bringing awareness. This whole first section is about bringing awareness to what are those thoughts. So what I want you to write down now are what are your limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, doubts about this change you're about to embark on. What are what is the voice and the voices inside your head telling you that are holding you back? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Like, everyone's doing this shit. Who's going to listen to me? I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve it. Whatever they are for you, I want you to dump them down. And when we do anything in this course, like, dump it. Like, don't hold yourself back. Don't question. Don't like start to write and then stop. Just fucking write it. Write it. Get it out. Get it off your chest. Get it out of your mind. Get it onto the paper, and then we'll dissect it. Then the other half of this changing your perspective is like, how are you going to combat those negative beliefs? What are the power words, the beliefs, the thoughts, the powerful, positive mantras when the negative ones keep coming in your head? What can you tell yourself to contradict? So like, I did this the other day, and I have it posted in my room. Some of my negative beliefs is like, why the fuck should people listen to me? And my contradiction to that, like, my power thoughts were, why the fuck not listen to me? I'm living what I'm preaching, and I think that's something that people should listen to. So I want you to do that next and really channel this this understanding of what's going on in your head. And then the last piece of this, before we get to the last page, we're going to do some visualization tomorrow before we actually start breaking down our goals. But again, where most people fail is they don't actually visualize the steps that they're going to have to take, like full out visualize, right? Full on understand what it's going to take to get from point A to point B. Because it's hard, and sometimes that point B is like really far away. So for example, one of my biggest goals, and those of you that know me, I forgot to do an intro. Hi, I'm Danielle Girdner. I forgot to do a whole intro. I'll just, you should know me. If you don't, look me up, text me, I'll tell you all about myself. One of my biggest dreams is to be an international, world-renowned speaker. I've always loved to speak. I always I want to do that. I want to be on an international stage, and it's going to happen one day. And so where I am now, I'm obviously not a world-renowned speaker. So what is step one? I mean, I know this goal is probably like a very long time away, and I'm cool with it, but like, what is the commitment that I need to make? What are the steps I need to take? So like, one of my goals this year is to become a Toastmaster, which is an international organization. You should look it up if you're interested or just want to get better at public speaking. I'm going to become a Toastmaster. That is the first little step I'm going to take. And then an even smaller step, which I did yesterday, was look up the Toastmaster groups in my area. That was the first step. Like, there's my big old goal all the way out there to be a world-renowned speaker, and my very first step is Googling Toastmaster groups in Gainesville. And so it's thinking through that much, that detailed, and we're going to practice it tomorrow. Thinking through that detailed is the first step. You have to chunk it down into these little tiny forkfuls. It's like, if you guys have ever seen the movie Matilda, one of my favorite movies, where they make the kid eat the whole chocolate cake, and he's like looking at it like, holy shit, I'm gonna puke all over the place. I'd for sure puke all over the place. But it starts with one single piece, and then another bite, and then another bite, and then like he grabs a fucking handful, because he's like, now he's gaining momentum. And that's the point we need to get you all to, is that momentum, right? Like, all right, I started to take a couple steps. Now I'm feeling good. I'm picking up steam. Now I can take a handful. Then like, oh shit, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. Now I take a bite. Like, it's just building that momentum. So that being said, the last page of this, once you've done all of this inner work, you should be feeling all mushy-gushy inside, really starting to visualize what this commitment is going to look like. Because like, this is a big part of it. Like, this was, and probably by the time you're done watching this and filling it out, it's going to be like an hour and a half of just understanding your commitment. We didn't even touch your fucking goals yet. We're just understanding the work, mental, physical, and emotional work that's going to go into this. And it's beautiful work. It's work on you. It's the best work you could do in the whole fucking world. It's work on you, and it takes this much time just to start. So this last page, I decided to make you a contract. You're actually going to make the contract with yourself. And so it says, I, blank, and you'll fill in your name, agree that my goals are worth more of my time. I agree to commit to thinking about, planning, and executing these goals in 2019 and adjusting as needed, because you're going to need to adjust. You change every single day. I agree that I get one life, just one, and I deserve to live it to the fullest. Fuck yeah, you do. And accomplish all I imagine for myself. Because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do that shit for you. And again, I know you know that, but we don't act on it. With this signature, I will do everything in my power to make these goals a reality. And then you're going to sign it, you're going to date it, and then somebody needs to witness it. And the reason I'm doing that is accountability, putting it out there in the universe, so that subconsciously, like, you're at work. Now, you're going to notice I left a big ass chunk of white space. And I did that purposely because I want you to be able to add anything you want to that contract. Anything that you feel like you want to add to that to make it more of a reality, or just like any other things that you want to add, that you want to commit to yourself to do, that's your space to do it. And that's the first steps of understanding your commitment. And you guys have to understand, this is we're going on 27 minutes here. I could talk about understanding your commitment forever. We're going to go tomorrow. Let's see, did I miss anything? We understood the mindset, we brain dumped, we're identifying patterns, we're making the verbal and written commitment. And then your homework tonight is to share this packet and some of the findings that you discovered from the packet with the 2 to 3 people that you emailed me. And if you didn't do that, you need to do that. The 3 people that are going to be like having your back through this, because the support system is huge. We're going to talk about that later too. And tonight, when you're done with this and into tomorrow, before you watch the next video, start to really think about the steps that you're going to need to take. What's the what can you do tomorrow or tonight to get one step closer to your goals? Is it looking up the nearest group? Is it buying a bigger water bottle? Whatever the fuck it is. And if you don't know what that first step is, hi, my name is Danielle Gertner. I am your habit changer and I'm your cheerleader and I'm here to fucking help you. So utilize that, all right? When someone says, I'm here to help you, text me if you have any questions, email me, take advantage of it. You're not bothering me. You're like, I did this for a reason because I believe in you and I want you to untap everything you're meant to untap and unleash, and we're going to do that together. So quick recap, the grind mindset, YOLO as fuck. You got one life, unleash hell, find your potential, release your potential, and believe that you deserve to release that potential, and all the shit that you need is inside of you. I said this in the last video and I didn't say it in this video, but we are walking fucking miracles, okay? If you've never read the book, The Greatest Miracle in the World, you should, because it's a great book, and it goes through this whole section of like, we have miles upon miles of blood vessels in our bodies. We have miracles that like not even the most technologically advanced technology comes close to what our bodies and minds can do. And we're so quick to like jump to external things and ways to fix all that's in here, when like all we need is what's in here to fix what's in here and to bring out what's in here. And I know, super corny, a little woo-woo, but it's the fucking truth. It's the truth that I believe in, and all the smartest people and most successful, and when I say success, I mean fulfilled. That's how I define success. The most fulfilled people, this is what they do. This is the type of work that they do, spending on themselves to make their dreams a reality. So I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna let you get to work. Fill this out, send it back to me for some points that you will get towards your potential Thrive Journal and a one-on-one with me. Let me know whatever questions you have. Happy grinding. This is step one. Step one, guys, that's it. Step one on a lifetime of steps that you will have to take, and that's the reality of it. That understand that this commitment is for life. Right? You can't commit to you can commit to a goal like, hey, I want my goal to, I want to run a marathon by the end of the year. Okay, the year is over, but you're committing to yourself for life, that you're going to continuously revisit these questions, ask yourself these questions, revisit your goals, plan out your goals so that you can continue to be successful and fulfilled forever. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, get your shit done, get your work done, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully earlier than it is now, because I'm not going to record it on Photo Booth again. Fuck you, Photo Booth. It's all right. Much love, guys. Have a great day. About to go teach Gator Grind, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.